All right, thank you for coming. Week one, excited to get started. Before we get going, I'd like to announce who our captains are. On defense, Brock Horne, Jordan Oladokun, Anthony Hawkins. On offense, PaSean Wimberly, Alex Wollschlaeger, and Levi Gazarek. So I'm super excited. We couldn't ask for six better guys to lead our team. They've been in the program for 4 and 5 years. And they get it. They understand what we expect, and they're going to do a great job leading our football team. We had a interesting training camp, to say the least. There was signs of us performing at a very high level whenever we could get our whole team on the practice field. It's been an injury-ridden camp, to say the least. There's a couple injuries that I'm not going to mention that will cause 2 to 3 players to be out probably for the year. I'll announce that after the game. But we're banged up. We need to get our team on the field and have a really good week of practice and get ready for a really good Fordham team. I think this Fordham team is a great challenge. This team, they know how to win. They've got a great program. They went into Buffalo last year and won. And then 2 years ago, they went into OU and lost on a last-second field goal. So very impressed with what they do. We're going to have to play our best football like normal. The great thing about college football these days is that anyone can win at any moment. So we've got to bring our A game like we'll have to do all 12 weeks. Any questions?
We got a microphone. Just say hi to Chrissy over there.
Obviously, with some of these injuries, is it the matter of you have the experienced players as backup that are able to step in, or are a lot of these newcomers going to have to step right in?
It's going to be a combination of both. There's some older guys that have been in the program that are going to have to step up. We're going to have to move some people around. Nothing like we planned, to say the least. Nothing like what we practiced this summer in terms of personnel. But we'll have to move some guys around. Some guys will have to step up. The wonderful thing about our offense and defense and special team system is that we are extremely flexible. We can do a lot with who we have. It's not like we're set in our ways of only having to run one style of offense. So we're going to take our personnel. We've got good enough players, no question about it, and we need to put them in the right spots. And we need to practice really well this week. Just like I said, the concerning piece for me right now going through training camp, it was very inconsistent. And half the reason it was inconsistent is we had half our guys on either side of the ball participating at the same time. So they really haven't played together in these last 3 weeks like you would hope. So hopefully we'll be able to get as many guys to the dance as we can. We need to have a great week of practice. Just like I said, this is a really dangerous football team that is coming into the Doit, and we've got to be on our A game.
Yeah, looking at Fordham, obviously they got one of the best quarterbacks and running backs in the FCS. I guess how do you prepare for that, knowing that they can really put up points?
Yeah, I think the quarterback's outstanding. He only, I think, threw 1 interception last year. They are very unique. They play with tempo. They spread the field. They spread you out. They throw the ball around, and then they hand it to the back. And the back's excellent. So we're going to have to play really well on defense. And the way that I look at playing Fordham, it kind of reminds me whenever we were going against wishbone teams. To be quite honest with you, we got to possess the ball on offense. We got to run the ball. We got to control the clock. We got to keep this Fordham offense off the field. And we got to protect the ball. If you look at Buffalo's loss last year, they had 4 turnovers. There was a punt blocked. And we got to make Fordham earn every single thing that they're going to get. So we'll have a good game plan for them. We'll adapt and adjust to our issues. The good thing is, the following week you've got Penn State, then you got a bye, and that bye couldn't have come at a better time, to be quite honest with you. So everything's going to be dumped into this week. We're going to be laser focused on Fordham and adapt and to adjust to our situation.
Obviously, what's the key to just getting off to a good start this season? Obviously, the Liberty game last year, a lot of the turnovers. But what's
took it out of my mouth.
Yeah. what's maybe, is there something different that, heading into this season that you try to preach to your guys to get off to a good start?
Well, I think our offensive line is really taking giant steps. I'm talking giant steps. They're playing really hard as a unit. They're old. They're big. They're physical. And, the whole key offensively for us is going to be, number one, taking care of the ball. I think we have the ability to run the football. We've got quite a few guys that can run the rock, which is really good. And then obviously protecting the passer. We need to make sure that our quarterback stays upright this year. So I think we've got enough skill guys around Connor to be effective. And the thing with Connor is all he has to do is just take care of the ball, take the right footwork, go from 1 to 2 to 3, hit his first open wide receiver. And when you have the ability to run the football the way that I think we're going to be able to run it, it's going to create great play action. It's going to be able to create one-on-one opportunities for him on the perimeter. And we just need to take care of the ball.
Thank you. Talk about the other side of the ball then, Coach. Defensively, you guys did so well in the big picture last year. I think a large measure of that was on takeaways. Talk about, you think that's going to be a highlight of this year's defensive side of the ball?
The thing that I think we do really well in our program is we emphasize the ball. And if you really look at last year, it was a tale of two seasons. At the beginning of the year, we were horrific at protecting the ball. Defensively, we were adequate at getting it back at the first half of the season. And then the second half, we were excellent at protecting the ball, and we were ball hogs. We got the ball back defensively. So we emphasize it. We have 2 periods, 3 periods of practice. That's all we're doing is concentrating on how to get the ball back and how to protect the ball. So that's got to carry over, all those great drills and all those things that we do year in and year out about the ball. It's got to show up this fall.
Talk about expectations this year as well. Obviously, you're pretty highly regarded in the preseason rankings, and a lot of expectations built on the success last year. How has this year differed from last year and the year before in preparation?
Yeah, well, A1A, and it's the message that I've sent daily to our team. It's consistency. It's consistency day in and day out. How we do business day in and day out is going to determine how many games we're going to win. If you're inconsistent, if you're disciplined part of the time, you're going to get what you deserve. The crazy thing about this game is you can't cheat the system. You can't cheat it. If you cheat what you're doing in training camp, if you cheat what you're doing in the summertime, the football gods will pay you back. So we need to make sure that we do a great job of being consistent, having discipline, and playing together, and completely just worrying about what's important. There's so many things right now in college football that's out there that are distractions. They're everywhere. And we've got to be disciplined enough to worry about what's important, put the other things to rest that aren't important, and come out and be selfless and be a team, and everything will take care of itself.
Start off the season with a action game Thursday night, and I'm curious, we've got so many kids coming into town. You've heard enrollment's up 22% over 2 years ago. How important is it that those kids come out? Derek talks about the orange wave, et cetera. How important is it to get a big crowd in here Thursday?
Yeah, I think we'll have a great crowd. I really do, and I want to encourage everyone to come out. It's going to be a beautiful evening. It's supposed to be a little warm, I heard, but it's going to be perfect. So we need to get all our students, all the BG community out here. Our team likes to play in front of people, and I think we've done a great job. Our kids have done a great job in the community, they've conducted themselves in such a first-class manner. I think people in the community recognize that these kids are good people. They're good students. They love BG. And so, yeah, I would love to see as many people come out and support this group. I really like this group in terms of they're really good people. They've got great parents. And, we just got to really, really concentrate on not being selfish and really got to concentrate on what's important. And just like I said, if we get off kilter worrying about things that are out there in the outside world, it could catch you pretty quick.
Could you just talk about, PaSean Wimberly being named a captain, despite obviously, he suffered the injury, he's going to be out for the season, but just the respect that he has on the team and from his players.
Yeah, that was a devastating whenever he got hurt this spring. It was a non-contact injury. It was like slow motion. You just watched it occur and you knew that it wasn't good. And the good thing is that his rehab's coming along quite well. He's running already, which is great. But the team loves him. He played with a ton of juice, ton of energy. We call it the PaSean way, and we feed off that. And every single time that we're not playing hard or not doing things the right way, I always refer back to him, are we doing it his way? And if we can somehow find a way to be consistent and disciplined and do the things that PaSean did day in and day out, we're going to be successful. PaSean's going to be successful because he is a hardworking, great human being, 3/8 student. He does everything right off the field. And, so having success, there's no secret sauce. I mean, it's doing things right consistently, being disciplined, and working as hard as you possibly can at your trade, and that's what he does.
With kind of going back to the injuries, is there like a message just to try to keep spirits high when players are getting hurt? Is there a message to the team, as far as just, trying to push through that and everything?
Well, I think in every season it occurs. It just occurred a little bit earlier than what it normally does. And, the injuries that did occur were not caused from over practicing. They weren't caused from being foolish in terms of rep count. They just happened, unfortunately. But we'll adapt and adjust. Hopefully we get some people back this week. And the big thing, just like I said, I know we're going to get enough people back to practice really well. We got to practice well this week, in my opinion.
Any more questions for Coach? All right. Thank you.
Hold up.
Sorry.
What's the process like, starting at this point in the week and then having to do a Thursday game? Obviously the midweek action is a ways away, but doing it for the first game of the season, what's that process like?
We're pros. We're pros at it. I mean, I think we've had more action games around here. I think we had 4 last year, right? I want to say. So we know the process. I think the big positive, very similar to during the action season, is that we're still in training camp. We don't start school here till Monday, so we've got a huge advantage. Today is our Saturday. Tomorrow will be our Sunday, and Saturday will be our Monday. And Tuesday's practice, which is huge, is on Sunday. So we're going to be able to take advantage of still being in training camp, being able to watch extra film. Being able to eat and train properly, get sleep, I think is really important. And then, that Wednesday practice, always that first practice, the day of when classes begin, is normally challenging. But we practice in the morning. So we're going to be able to practice in the morning, then the kids go to class. In the old school days, when you practice in the afternoon, the kids would wake up in the morning, they would go to class, and that first practice, I don't know what it is, every single place that I've ever coached, the practice is horrific. And so we're going to be able to avoid our 2 most important practices of the week without school starting. So we're going to need to take advantage of it and practice really well this week.
PaSean, Coach mentioned that there's been some injuries and stuff during camp. I guess how have you guys just kind of tried to stay positive despite a couple tough injuries and everything, and just try to keep spirits high with the season starting here soon?
Just developing our depth and just helping out in those position groups, and just taking care of our bodies on and off the field. That's how we're gonna go about our players that's going through some stuff right now.
For you personally, I mean, obviously had the injury earlier this year, but how have you kind of embraced your new role of, being a leader, obviously being named a captain, just how have you kind of embraced your new role with the team?
Obviously, the first month when it happened, I was in a shitty storm, you can say that. But I embraced that my team voted me as captain because they believed in me and my role and everything I gave and spoke on the team and stuff like that. And just being that role player on and off the field. So them respecting me, I have to give back. So what I'm going to do and encourage myself to do is basically help the young, our freshmen, in my position, special teams all around, help them in every aspect of life, and just getting them ready for this upcoming season and for our future for our program.
How have you seen, the running back room is obviously huge, a lot of freshmen in there. How have you seen that unit kind of grow and develop over these last few weeks?
They've been developing really well. I would say they're learning quickly. Our running back coach, Brian White, is developing them into men. So they're getting out of that high school phase and is learning the process of how to play here at Bowling Green.
And Alex, Coach mentioned the offensive line's really taken strides and improved during fall camp. How have you seen that unit, grow and develop here these last few weeks?
I think just, getting the feel for each other. We got some new line in a sense, missing guys from last year. So getting the feel of the togetherness and getting that timing down with our steps together and all that have taken strides these last few weeks. And then just getting comfortable with each other and with the adjustments and the calls and just really becoming one unit up front. I think we've taken strides there and understanding the game and the way our offense is working and just being able to work together and making those holes for the running backs and giving the quarterback time. So,
right. Where do you feel the strength of the offense is? Obviously with so many players coming back, just where do you feel you guys are really going to excel this year?
Being a lineman, you want to see the whole running the ball aspect, run the rock, and that's really everywhere you look. When you got teams that can run the ball, those are usually the teams that end up winning the games. They drain the clock down. That's kind of like putting your will on your opponent. So I hope we can have a good season running the ball this year. We got good backs, like PaSean was saying, and I'd really like to see that happen this year.
Opening up on a Thursday, obviously it kind of feels like an action question for both of you guys. How you guys have been through it before. Is that almost like a benefit, like kind of an added bonus, kind of, especially with starting the season here on a Thursday?
I think so. Season gets to come a little sooner, and night game in the Doit.
Yeah.
All the students will be back. It's nothing better. So.
Coach said that you guys love playing in front of people. Is that kind of your take on it? Do you love playing in front of people, as opposed to maybe a small empty state? How do you guys sort of, prepare for crowds?
What we're trying to build with this team is basically building our own energy, so we wouldn't depend on a bigger crowd or a lesser crowd, because that can impact the game We would expect a lot of people in our stadium. Don't get us wrong. We love a good crowd, like the homecoming vibe. But also we have to build that energy with ourselves, so we won't have to depend on 20,000 people in the stadium if it's lesser.
Any more questions for these two?
I'm just curious, PaSean, the coach said your role on the team right now is making sure all the players are playing the PaSean way. What does that mean?
I would say playing the PaSean way is basically having a grit and attitude on the field, giving your all 100%, because that's what I did to earn my scholarship a couple years ago. I just gave it all, whether I was given a scout rep, a first team rep, whatever it was. You couldn't stop me from doing what I do, which is basically going all out and not giving up on any play at any given time.
What's your take on the running back room right now? You've got the inside look there, and there's a lot of talk about a lot of talent in that room.
Yes. I would say our running back room is very versatile. We have weapons all around in that room. That's why I'm excited. We have a heavy number of us. It's like 11 of us, I believe. But we're all capable of being on that field and playing under the lights.
Alex, I've got to ask you real quick as well. I know we got to go, but 2020, think back to the time you spent here at BGSU. Now you're Outland Award nominee, et cetera, first team all preseason, all MAC. Talk about your journey and the journey of this program over the last 5 years as well.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. You know, I came here as a guy who played basically just high school football, played D-line, not even much O-line, and wasn't sure what to expect. So this last kind of few months, it's kind of set in like, you know, this could be your last ride type thing, and it's really surreal. You know, I thank Lefty and all the coaches back then who recruited me, and it's really cool to see how this program go from basically the bottom when I got here during COVID and stuff to a team that's, you know, starting to look like a respectable college football team. And, you know, we want to fight, you know, we want to try to take it all. You know, we'd love to go out with a ring this year, so we're going to fight for a ring.
Oh, yeah.
So that's kind of been our mindset, you know, screw all the preseason awards. They're all great, and, you know, they're awesome accolades to have, but at the end of the day, it's what we proved this season, so that's how we're approaching this season. Just, you know, we haven't proved anything yet, so we're going to, you know, fight for it this year.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, Coach Loeffler talked before about how you guys love playing in front of big crowds. What do you make of that statement? Do you guys feel like you play better when the crowds are bigger?
Yeah, it's more eyes on us, so you know you got to be at peak performance. So that's the mindset.
Yeah, I'm kind of with him. It's fun to be able to play in front of big crowds and show kind of what you're all about here. So it's definitely a blast to play.
Jordan, Coach mentioned, you know, there's been some injuries, a couple setbacks during camp. I guess how have you guys just tried to, you know, stay positive and, you know, just try to get maybe some of the younger guys developed? How have you guys just tried to overcome what have been maybe a couple tough injuries to start?
I mean, it's camp. Camp is hard anywhere in college football. So, you know, you just go in every day and try to practice at the highest standard. But that's all camp is, getting reps in and trying to get better for this year.
You talk a little bit about PaSean Wimberly and just, I mean, I think Coach mentioned, you know, the PaSean way, you know, just what, you know, obviously he suffered a tough injury, but, you know, being named the captain, you know, what is he like with this team? How does he, you know, make this team better and everything?
I mean, he's a great guy for our team, and just as a person, he brings a lot of energy. He brings a lot of dominance on and off the field for us. So just having him being the captain really shows the work he puts in on and off the field and his leadership style. So he's honestly a great guy.
Question for both of you. I mean, opening up with Fordham, you know, an FCS school, but I mean, they have an outstanding quarterback, outstanding running back. Obviously, their offense can put up points. You know, how do you kind of approach this game, you know, the start of the season, and just, you know, try to get off to a good start here?
You know, like you said, they have a really good offense, some explosive players, but we just prepare for it like every other game. You know, it being the first game, we have a lot more time to game plan and stuff like that. So I think our staff is doing a pretty good job, and our players are doing a pretty good job of preparing for it.
Yeah, they're good. They're great on offense. They put up a lot of points, but we've been practicing for 4 weeks now during camp. So we're confident that we're gonna be able to do what we need to do on defense and stop them as much as we can.
With a huge game like Penn State next the following week already, even Texas A&M, is it hard not to overlook Fordham, or is, you know, all the focus, you know, with the team and everything pretty much set on this first game?
Yeah, we're all set on this first game. Hawk could probably tell you too. We're seniors, so every game counts. Every game matters for us. We don't have many left in college football, so we're taking it one game at a time. Whoever we play next is who we'll focus on after the next game.
Defensively, during camp, what's impressed you the most? Specifically, defensive line, secondary. What's maybe impressed you guys the most about what you've seen from the defense?
For me, I could say I've been really impressed with our back end. We got a lot of new guys in, a lot of guys getting a lot of playing time, and they've done really well. So I'm excited for the back end as well as up front. Got to show my guys some love too.
You guys both got voted team captains. Just what does that mean to you guys to be captains in your senior year?
It's an honor, just to be looked at and honored by your peers and respected by your peers, and just knowing that in that moment when they really need you, everybody looks to you and looks at guys like Oladokun and everybody else who was voted captain. So it's an honor, and I wear it with a lot of pride.
Yeah, same as what he said. This is my first year being voted as captain, so it's honestly probably the best thing I got assigned this senior year. So just being looked at by your peers as a guy that they can count on and look up to is very inspiring. So I wear it with a lot of pride.
Obviously, injuries are always part of the game, but the coach mentioned there's been some tough injuries in camp. How do you guys just mentally and, try to push through that, get ready for the season and everything like that?
Yeah, I think football, every year, you're going to have guys get banged up. It's always next man up mentality. So, just working through that, business as usual, kind of all that there.
How's the team's just kind of psyche, mentality been, during camp, even with a couple of tough injuries? How do you guys just try to stay, up, positive, everything like that?
I think just getting better every day, taking it one day at a time, not looking too far down the road, being where your feet are, be in the present moment, and just getting better every day. So,
Brock, defensively, obviously this team had such a great year last year with all the takeaways, all the sacks. In what ways have you seen, the defense even improve, take steps, especially these last few weeks?
Yeah, I think we put a really big emphasis this camp on, building on getting the ball back. I think we're number one last year in turnovers. Yeah, and we've just continued to build on that. We're so many interceptions and, forced fumbles and stuff that have been caused by this defense during camp. So it's been a major emphasis of ours to build on that and to, stay at the top.
Obviously, looking at Fordham, an FCS school, but, they have a great offense, great quarterback, running back. What's, obviously with this week of preparation, you guys will obviously look at them, but, how do you try to slow down what, it's obviously looks like a pretty good offense?
Yeah, it's funny you say slow down because they're so high tempo. That's kind of their thing is they run kind of like how Kent State had been in the past. Very up tempo. The biggest thing that we can do is just make sure that we get lined up and communicate, quickly. We just have to play fast. We got to play to their tempo, and I think that's how you slow down an offense like that. Is just getting lined up, getting in position.
Levi, can you just talk a little bit about, PaSean was named the captain as well, despite being injured, how have you seen him, try to help this team despite, not being able to be on the field? How has he really just tried to, embrace his new role and everything?
Yeah, well, PaSean's impact on the team, just in his story in general, is so inspiring because you look at him, he came here as a walk-on, did everything the right way, just absolute amazing person, amazing player. Worked his way onto special teams, made a huge impact there, leading, I think, the nation 2 years ago in block punts. So yeah, when you have a guy that comes in and can impact people in a positive way, even when he's not on the field, it speaks volumes, him being named a captain this year.
You guys were named captains. Just what does that mean to you guys to be captains? Levi, your second year now. What does it mean to you to be captain again?
It really means everything because not really a guy that's lit up the stat sheet here in my career, but just doing everything I can to be the best leader and person for this team to help move people along. You know, Brock does an excellent job. You know, all the captains do an excellent job. You know, just getting guys to buy in to you don't have to be a captain to be a leader on the team. Get everybody involved and hold each other accountable. So,
Coach said that you guys play better in bigger crowds. Do you see it that way? What do you sort of make of that statement?
I mean, we definitely like having the bigger crowds, but you got to be able to play in both in the MAC. So, obviously, huge MAC games have great atmospheres and packed stadiums, but sometimes it might be 10 degrees and nobody in the stands, so you gotta do both.
Question for both of you. Opening up on Thursday, does that bring back action memories? Obviously, just kind of talking about, you know, just how kind of used to starting, you know, on a Thursday, adjusting your schedule, and obviously to do that to start the year is kind of interesting as well.
Yeah, I think we're no strangers to it, right? We played Tennessee a few years ago on a Thursday night. It's kind of a lot easier at the beginning of the year because it's, you know, your week doesn't get messed up. You have more time to prepare for it, and you just kind of adjust your schedule. And you got to think of, like, I think Sunday is like a Monday for us or something like that. Like, you know, it's all weird, but it's not a ton of adapting to do at the beginning of the season, though.
You know, just looking at the opponents that you guys have faced to start the year, you know, over the years, I mean, Power 5 opponents, you know, Liberty last year was obviously outstanding. I mean, obviously Fordham's going to present its challenges, but, you know, with a team like Penn State looming, you know, the following week, how do you guys just make sure to stay focused on, you know, Fordham right away and everything?
Yeah, I think Levi kind of already touched on it when he was talking about camp and stuff, but just being where your feet are and, you know, taking it one step at a time, right? Like, our biggest opponent is Fordham right now, and that's all we're focused on. You know, we got to beat them week one, you know, and then we can worry about Penn State and A&M and, you know, Ohio Dominion or Old Dominion. You know, obviously they're looming, yeah, but again, it's Fordham is the challenge right now.
Levi, I want to go back to you when you first came here. 5 years ago, you came from North Baltimore, a local kid, and you had options to go Big Ten and do some of those things. Talk about the journey for you this past 5 years, not only for you, but for the program as well. And again, how this program has developed over the last 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, it's been amazing to be a part of it and see where we've came from. You know, my first year, the COVID year, we went 0-5, and it was not very fun to be a part of, you know. And the next year we made strides, you know, went 4-8, so still not great, and then make a bowl game, and then improve on our record last year and make another bowl game. So it's the culture change has been, you know, night and day. And so being able to come here every day and love the guys that you're around and be like, man, I'm excited to get into the building and see everybody. It wasn't like that when I first got here, and I think that's a huge part of it.
Brock, you're nodding your head. You would agree with that, and expectations obviously high for the program this year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been here since 2019, so, you know, to speak on kind of what we call them the dark days, but it was, you know, it was dark. It was bad. There was a horrible culture on the team, and to see that shift and to be a part of that shift and be, you know, one of the leaders and the like drivers of the culture change has been a really awesome experience for me. It's helped me grow a ton as a person. And I just think that, you know, we're just going to continue to build on it and keep making strides this season.
You're a part of a linebacker group that's had some great history, great success, certainly in the time that you've been here as well. You think that's going to be one of the strengths on the defensive side of the ball this year too?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, obviously Darren, you know, graduating and being out of eligibility is a huge loss for us, but the guys that we're replacing with, and, you know, Joe's obviously a tremendous football player. Donnie is very good as well from Oklahoma State. He's going to step in and be a good player for us, and same with Trent Sims. And then, like, the young guys, Dorian Pringle he's come along a lot, especially for how young he is. So I think we got a really good room ahead of us.
And I got to ask Levi as well. Talk about Connor a little bit, what he brings to the table behind you and what fans can expect to see from him this season.
Yeah, I mean, experience is the number one thing. Just knowing the checks, all the reads, being able to communicate at the line of scrimmage. That's something you can't coach. Experience isn't something that you can really coach. So having him being able to do that is just a great asset to the offense.